game here, but on like half a pitch.
Yeah.
And you can see the skills and you can see the competitiveness between the sets of players. I always enjoy these because we always watch these little games at training, and you think this is going to give me a clue towards what the team is going to be tomorrow, and it gives you no idea whatsoever, does it? And that's the header from Diouf, who actually impressed on the tour when he came on. He made some substitute appearances, and of course he was on the score sheet a couple of times last night as well.
Well, not harping on about it, but the manager said yesterday about Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick's out there running about like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, he doesn't look as though he's struggling with Achilles trouble, does it? But the manager didn't say it was anything serious, but no point in risking it, but he's playing out there. And as I say, good to see Fletcher out there as well, who, such a shame for him. It was like February, March, he just disappeared and missed 12 games with that virus.
Badly missed.
Oops.
Carrick nipping in there, Paddy. You're right. It doesn't look as though
looks to be moving quite nicely.
Doesn't look remotely unfit.
Kiko.
Oh,
good strike.
Terrific
good save as well.
Terrific save.
Kiko scored a couple of goals on the tour in that first game in Boston.
I think it's important sometimes when you see young kids at 17 and 18, not just their ability, how strong they get. Maybe I suppose the training helps and all that sort of thing.
I'll tell you one question. You're somebody who obviously had a lot to do when the twins arrived there. From this distance, with no shirt numbers on the backs, do you know who's who?
I don't know who they are now. I just say hello to both of them. They used to tell me that well, one of them got married after he'd not been here very long, and they said just look at the ring. But I had to remember which one it was.
It was Fabio.
They're both married now. They're both married. Yeah.
They're only kids, for God's sake.
That's right, but they're both married.
They're both married to Brazilian girls.
I think so. I couldn't be sure about that, but I think so, yeah.
Dear me.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Actually, they're very, very young. I mean, if you're a manager of a football club with talented players, I know when I was here under Mark Busby, God bless him, he wanted everybody to be married.
Yeah. Stability,
particularly George, no doubt.
Well, I remember George when he got engaged to that girl from, where was it, Denmark or whatever it was, and then Matt says, you only know her a couple of weeks and I don't think it's the right thing to do, and George says, you've always asked me to get married. So it was a quandary then. What do I do? Well, that didn't last either. Surprise.
Oh dear. It all went wrong when he had to stay with you, didn't it, Paddy?
That was a big disaster.
When we were talking about the twins, you were telling the story before when they were sort of essentially discovered. They burst onto the scene that pre-season friendly we were showing on MUTV at Peterborough. Before then, they hadn't played, in any sort of first-team situation. And they played, and you thought, wow. And they were 18 at the time, I think. And you were thinking, wow, they are fantastic. And you can't help thinking that those two are going to be the future really for a long, long time.
The one thing that they're doing is learning the defensive qualities of the game. Yeah, that's
the problem, isn't it?
Because when they played for the Brazilian youth sides, the Brazilians played a formation that was unique to them. They had a back four, 2 sitting midfield players, 2 strikers, and 2 players behind the strikers. So they were like right back, right wing back, left wing back.
Yeah.
So they were entitled to go up and down, up and down.
But the only problem you have here when you play here at Old Trafford is nobody's going to attack you that much that you can't help but go forward if you're a fullback.
But you remember that Arsenal FA Cup game here when you got the team sheet and you think, what's the manager doing? And of course, Rafael and Fabio played right and left wing, and were great that day. Because remember that it's almost their more natural position, isn't it? Because they don't have to do any defending.
Yeah,
they were fantastic. Great characters as well.
Oh, fabulous boys.
Embraced the sort of whole
apparently, the coaches tell me they're wonderful trainers.
Yeah. Every time we meet them,
and as we said, that one of them's just gone down. It looks injured.
Yeah, I think that's
go on.
He's smiling. He got a knock, of course, on the tour against Barcelona, but he is apparently going to be fit for this weekend.
That's a great tackle by Welbeck.
Berbatov felt that. I'm not sure he's too happy about that, Dimitar.
And have you noticed the referee blowing the whistle there, Mr. Everett?
Patrice Everett is our referee.
I think he's given a penalty. Whoops!
I'm not sure he's accepting a descent.
Rooney's upset about it.
Let's have a look at this challenge.
Oh, no, it's when you think it's a training session, that's a daft challenge, really, isn't
Bit of a lunge from Juve there.
You don't do
Well, whatever, we're having a penalty.
Dispatched by Fletcher. Oh, nice to see Patrice Evra refereeing anyway. Wonder if he's going to be getting any stick from some of the players down there.
The one guarantee is that he won't be doing that tomorrow.
When you're playing in this confined space as well, the passing's got to be absolutely spot on, isn't it? Pass and move.
Well, we watch the training all the time, Liz, and it's all repetitive but
Sharp.
which is good. You know, all the time it's quick. And the tighter the space is, obviously it's more difficult to pass, but the more you do it, the better you get at it.
There's Dimitar just scored. It's a big season ahead for him because there's been a lot of speculation about his future. You know, the manager made some comments, but it was misunderstood. He was just explaining that yesterday's press conference. He didn't say anything about him going to Paris Saint-Germain. But the fact of the matter is the fact that he was left out of the final altogether, despite being the top scorer, meant that a lot of people suggested he might be possibly leaving this summer. That's definitely not the case. But I suppose does he feel? Do you think he's got something to prove?
I think the one thing about Dimitar is that he's been totally loyal, hasn't he? All he's said all the time he's been here, I want to play for Manchester United.
Yeah.
He's retired from international football to prolong his football career at the club.
Well, I spoke to him in... Where was it we spoke to him? Was it Seattle or somewhere?
It was.
I think the one thing for sure, he's a wonderful eater. Oh. Well, in the dining room, he's a master.
Is he?
Oh, absolutely. All the plates are lined up round. Oh, yeah. He's a wonderful eater. But you wouldn't think so, would you?
I must tell you, when we were in America
weight.
in Seattle, we recorded an episode of Paddy Meets, and it was Paddy Meets Berbatov for half an hour, and it was... you must watch it. It's going to be on over the next few weeks, and you must watch it because it's a fantastic programme. Because I think Paddy obviously done these programmes with Giggs and Scholes and Wayne Rooney and others, but he was a little bit unsure about this because he was wondering what Dimitar was going to be like, and you needn't worry, did you?
He was terrific.
Yeah,
he was terrific. Believe me, he was terrific to talk to, and what a lovely. And all he wants to do is play for Manchester United.
Yeah,
that came over
when he came at first, he was very, very quiet, and for whatever the reason, he would take lunch in the dining room when most of the other players would train and go home, and he would often sit on his own, and I thought, I must make him feel at home, so I would periodically walk past and say, hello, how are you? And he would say, I'm fine, thank you. And one particular day he was sat there and he hadn't got his lunch, and he was basically looking into fresh air, and I went up to him and I said, hello there, I saw you daydreaming then. He said, no, just thinking.
Yeah. No, he's saying to Paddy basically he likes his personal space. He doesn't really like anybody invading his personal space. But it was a very entertaining. I think it's fair to say Paddy and Berbatov are somewhat different characters.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, look out! Oops. Mam's whacked one of them there. He's whacked
again. Phil Jones has got one in the face there from Mam Diouf. Mam Diouf is with a crunching challenge on Berbatov, and then he's made connection there with Phil Jones. They know each other because obviously they were at Blackburn last year. Mam Diouf
just renewing all those.
He's got his own back.
And he's just taken out by Phil Jones.
Got his own back.
You know, people often, some people say that Phil Jones is a bit like a young John Terry in that sort of mould of player.
Yeah. Well, you could see that. Strong, big,
a little bit quicker,
brave,
a little bit quicker.
Very much so. John Terry is either a centre half or nothing, isn't he?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you certainly don't need to say that about Phil Jones, do you?
I still think it's a good job for him there as a holding midfield player. Be interested to see what happens as the league progresses. I'm in one of these sad situations, actually, Liz. I think United are going to win the league again. And I've
it's terrible, that, isn't it?
No, but I never hate thinking. I always think, well, who's going to finish above Chelsea or win the league? I'm now looking, who's going to finish above United? Yeah. The squad of players we have got is terrific. I mean, there's all the talk about maybe there's a possibility of buying Snyder or buying Nasri or buying somebody. Be a great addition if one of them did come, but I still think at the end of the day United will win the league with the team they've got and the quality of the player they've got.
I don't think anybody could doubt the quality of Schneider. Maybe Nasri's not quite at that level.
Maybe a bit younger.
Yeah, certainly younger, yeah. But Schneider's a talent, isn't he?
Oh, of course he is. A little bit maybe tougher, but